What we think makes us feel certain ways. I want to talk today about the most important thing I think in this entire program. This is really important stuff, so make sure that you've got a pen and some paper with you right now, and that you can record some notes while I talk about this, and you look at this video to make sure that you understand exactly what I'm talking about today. Because when we start talking about our own thinking and our thoughts and our feelings and how our brain works, it often becomes confusing because we're so used to it working automatically for us that sometimes it's very difficult to get this stuff. But you need to get this stuff, because when you do, trust me, it will change your life. Not only in regard to your weight and your health, but every realm, every aspect of your life will be changed by the content of what I'm going to talk about in this video today. What we like or dislike has to do with the feelings that we associate with it. So if there's things that we'd like to do, but we dislike doing the things that would get us to get to that goal or get to that point, meaning if I want to lose weight and have this body that I'm proud of, but I don't like exercise and I really don't like eating healthy food, and I prefer the other food, and I prefer to be on the computer versus being on the exercise bike, it's going to be hard to get to that goal until you change your preferences, until you change what you automatically associate pleasure and pain to. Here's how it works. Whenever you have a feeling, your brain, subconscious brain, looks around and asks itself, what's going on? Why am I having this feeling? So if you are at Thanksgiving dinner and you have a wonderful time and you're feeling joy and love and you've got these wonderful positive feelings during Thanksgiving, come next Thanksgiving, you'll be looking forward to it. You'll have this pleasurable association with the event of Thanksgiving with your family. However, if you're a different person and you had something happen during Thanksgiving, maybe you did the cooking and nobody complimented you on your turkey, and maybe you thought that people thought it was too dry, and you went through all this effort and you did all this work and no one really said thank you, and you had the feeling of being unappreciated, you had the feeling of frustration. So those feelings were associated then in your subconscious with Thanksgiving dinner with your family. So come next Thanksgiving, you're going to be like not wanting to do it, you're going to be wanting to pass it off to a different relative to do it, and you're going to have negative feelings about it, you may have anxiety about it. So the point here, as I'm trying to make, is that your brain attaches, or we call associates, feelings with events. So that's how we get our preferences. So if I don't like tuna, I must have somewhere along my life associated a feeling of dislike with tuna. All the foods that we like or dislike, we've associated feelings with them. And a lot of these feelings that we've associated with foods came during our time as children, watching what our parents ate and our older siblings ate. And because as little kids, the main feeling that we want to feel is we want to feel like we fit in, we want to feel like we're making our parents proud of us. So a lot of the foods that we create likes or dislikes to, we can look back and see what our parents and our family likes and dislikes. That's why we have family preferences in what we eat, how much butter we put on things and how much salt we put on things. Even things like people that segmentally eat, that eat one thing first and they'll eat the other thing and then they'll eat the other thing, whereas some of us just scoop a little bit of each thing and mix and match it as we eat it. Or do we drink milk all the time, or do we drink water? All these routines or habits were really developed because we want to be like or be associated with those that we loved around us. That feeling of acceptance, a positive feeling, was associated with that food. So let's just back up a little bit here and understand how you get a feeling. Because if you're like me, I used to think that, well, feelings just happen to me. When things happened, I got a feeling. I'd go to the mailbox and I'd get a check, maybe an income tax refund check for a certain amount, and I would feel happy about that. I would get that feeling of happiness. Go to the mailbox, I get a bill, and I open it up and it ends up being a lot more than I thought it would be for the utility bill this month, and I get a feeling of something negative. So we associate events and things and occurrences, what people say and what happens to us in our lives with feelings. We think those things cause our feelings, right? But we're missing the middle ingredient to that whole occurrence between event and how you feel. There's something in the middle that causes all of that to occur, and that is a thought. Now when I go to the mailbox and I get my income tax refund check and I'm all open it up and I'm all excited by the amount, I'm not excited by this piece of paper with a number on it. I'm excited because my subconscious brain instantly starts to think about what I can do with that money. The positive things that I can do with this money. Oh, I can make a down payment on a boat. I can take my wife on a trip. I can finally finish the renovations to my man cave. I start to think these positive things, and that's why I feel happy. So I create that feeling from the thought. Likewise, I get a bill in the mail. I open the bill. The bill's a higher amount than I thought it would be. I get the feeling of, maybe I start to feel angry with who left the water on here, who's been leaving all the electricity on, who's been burning up all the electricity on here. So I start to get angry thoughts and angry feelings from those thoughts that pop in my head from that event or occurrence. So here's the key, my friends. The key to life is an event happens, you get a feeling. Okay? How do you get this feeling? It's the thought you have that you create from the event. Okay? Look at this. When we were kids, when the lights went out and it got dark, we would often feel scared because we had a thought in between here of the boogeyman might get me. Now as adults, the lights go out, we don't necessarily get scared because we know there's no boogeyman. So our thought is, oh, finally, time to sleep, time to rest. I need lights out, I need darkness. Are you the type of person like I am, you need to have darkness to sleep? And you like darkness. So our thought is not boogeyman's going to get me, that causes us feeling of fear. It's, oh, time to relax. It may cause feel happy, good, pleasant, comfortable relaxation feelings rather than fear. So it isn't the event, the lights turning off, it's the thought we have about it that creates the feeling. So everything in your life that you create a thought for creates how you feel. And how you feel and how deep that feeling is gets associated with that event. So if I turn off the lights on a kid and that child gets fearful, and we do that in a way that reinforces that and reinforces that, that child may have trouble with darkness for a lot longer than a normal child would as he learns that the boogeyman no longer exists. So the key learning today is that this process of something happening, you creating your thought based on your interpretation, and you can interpret things any way you want to, and your thought that you choose to have creates the feeling that you have. And that feeling that you have at that time gets associated with whatever's going on at that time. And what we'll get to later on is, in the next video, is understanding how to change your preferences so that you begin to like the foods that you need to be eating to lose weight. You begin to like and want the serving sizes that you need to be eating to lose the weight. You begin to like and have preference for exercise versus not exercising. It all has to do with the associations of the feeling of pleasure, happiness, success with that. If you think about it, I'll give you a little preview here. When you're eating carrots for a snack versus what you used to eat, perhaps potato chips or whatever for a snack, when you're eating those carrots, you're thinking to your mind, I gotta eat this to lose weight, I don't want to eat this. You're picturing in your mind those potato chips, and you're having feelings of what? You're feeling deprived. You're feeling this is unfair. Why do I have to be born fat? Why do I have to be in this situation? You're having all these negative feelings which are now being attached to the carrots, which are making it even harder next time to eat the carrots. So what we'll be practicing doing is changing that visual imagery and getting ourselves able to visualize and to think exactly what people do who are thin and healthy when they eat healthy portions and healthy foods. So again, to review, the power of your thoughts to create feelings are what controls what you do and don't do and the preferences that you have in your life. They motivate you. They get you to do what you do. So if you don't like what you're doing, realize that you have feelings associated with your current behavior. And you've got to change those feelings to get different behavior. And you can do that by intervening between the event and the feeling, because the event doesn't cause your feeling, it's what you think. Every single feeling that you have today, tomorrow, next week, for the rest of your life, every feeling you have is preceded by a thought that you have. Now your subconscious brain will pop out thoughts as fast as those events occur. Okay? But your subconscious brain is always looking for the negative. It's always looking for danger. It's always trying to protect you. So it's always coming up with these crazy ideas that the reason this person said such and such was because they really have it out for you. Well, you don't know what's going on. That's not necessarily the case. Why do we always assume the negative on things? That's the trap that we fall into, is that we listen to the internal voice, which is normally always negative or pessimistic, or it's really stretching and estimating and assuming a lot of things to make this thought be what would be reality. So what we have to do consciously, if we want a better life, we have to consciously know that our subconscious brain is spitting off these thoughts left and right all day long, and we get to choose what we ignore and choose what we want to think. It's as simple as that, friends. If you can start to develop that skill, your life will never, never be the same. Every realm of your life will go up. You'll be happier. You'll be a better person. People around you will wonder what's going on, because you'll be much more you'll be more calm, you'll be more appreciative, you'll be more loving, you'll be able to tackle things without complaining, you'll have more energy, you'll want to get up in the morning, you'll be able to do things that you never thought that you could do before. And you'll be a different person when you start to get control, first of all through understanding. I hope this video helped you to understand how things that happen in your life create thoughts from your subconscious brain that you can choose to ignore or to change or to use as information to make your own conscious decision about what's going on or what happened to create the correct, appropriate feeling for you and the success that you want and deserve in your life. This is Dave Erickson. Live by choice.